Hi everyone, welcome back to my Flosstube. My name is Rachel, this is Lemonade Stitching, and today is my February 2025 wrap-up, which also happens to be a full month of Blackbird designs. So during February, I decided I really wanted to focus on my Blackbird designs pieces. I love Blackbirds. I'm trying to collect as many charts as I can from them. I know some of them are hard to find, but I just am in love with almost every single design they have. So I already knew I was going to be starting one Blackbird design with my friend Bridget, the museum stitcher, and I was like, why not just carry this theme through the rest of the month and finish some other Blackbirds that I have in my whip list. So I'm going to start with my start and finish, and this is My Heart's Design, obviously by Blackbird Designs. I stitched this on 32 count Cypress, and I did my own color conversion. I'll put up a picture of what the chart originally looks like. It's very like blue-green with some brown, but since I was stitching it in February, I decided to throw in a little pink. So I grabbed some overdyed pinks that I had in stash, and this is the conversion that I came up with. Green is my favorite color, so I was like, I can't believe I'm changing this. But since I was stitching it on the green fabric, I felt like it was fine, you know, and I still kept this one like minty green in here. And I just love how this came out. It was so fun to stitch. It was really quick. I think I probably stitched it in like 3 days. And I didn't do all of the initials that the pattern calls for. I did a large L here in the center for my last name. And then I did my initials and my fiance's initials. And then 2025 because we're getting married this year. So this is how my Heart's Design came out. I'm really happy with it. And I think Bridget's is already up on her channel, so go check out her Flosstube to see how her color conversion came out, because she also did a custom color conversion, and it's just stunning. This is honestly a piece I would stitch again. Like, it was so fun to stitch and so fast. I would stitch it again in a completely different color combination. I had such a good time. So after finishing My Heart's Design, I was like, well, now what? So I turned to my whip list and I pulled out The Light Upon the Lawn. This is a project I started back in October. I kitted up at the Color and Cotton store with a full color and cotton conversion. And I started working on this and never stopped. And this is my finish of The Light Upon the Lawn. I cannot hold anything today. I stitched this 2/2 on 32 count gray by Weeks Dye Works, which is more of like a dirty brown, but I'm really happy with how this came out. I have the whole fat quarter left, so I might be stitching some others from this same series on here, but I don't have any plans to like finish them together. So this is how it came out with my color conversion. I tried to stay really true to the original colors, and I'm just so happy with it. And I bought 2 skeins of every color so that I would have plenty to stitch the whole series, or kind of as much as I want. So yeah, this is The Light Upon the Lawn. I love it and I'm really happy with it. This was another one, like I picked it up and I just kept going, and all of a sudden it was done, and I was like, okay, 2 Blackbird finishes this month, say less. So obviously once I finished those 2 Blackbirds, I was like, I gotta keep this going. What else do I have? And my last like active whip that I had was Friendship Gathering. This is from an old Blackbird booklet that has this chart and then 12 monthly charts. I don't care about any of the monthly charts in there. They're not my favorite, but I do love this vase. So I did a stash conversion just with like DMCs. And this is my finish of Friendship Gathering that I stitched 2/2 on 32 count. It's so hard to see in my camera if this is in focus or not, so I'm hoping it is. But this is just stunning. Super bright pinks with a nice gray and blue vase. I think this is adorable. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do a framed finish or if I'm gonna turn this into a bag, kind of what the plan is. But I'm really excited that it is done. I think it's stunning. And now I just need to decide what to do with it. I love this chart. If you're wondering what specific colors I used for any of these, please let me know and I can get you the specific colors. I'm not gonna read them all off right now, but I will let anyone know if they're interested. So once I had finished all 3 of those, I was like, okay, there's still a few days left in the month. What else can I work on that is Blackbird, that'll fit my theme? And so I went through one of my books. I think it's My Heart is True. I'll put a picture up. And this is a book I got on Facebook D-Stash last year, and it has a bunch of pretty small charts in there. And I chose to stitch up Rosemary Pinkeep. I just thought it was the perfect little quick finish, 2 colors, easy to pull from stash. Blue or green is my favorite color, so why not? And I found the perfect piece of scrap fabric for it in my little fabric bin, and this is my finish of Rosemary Pinkeep. I just used a green and blue from stash on some stash 32 count fabric, and I added an H to the center because that will be my married last name here in like 7 months, which is crazy. And this fabric is literally perfect. It's got ever so slightly some like green modeling to it, which really complements the green and the blue that I chose. So I'm really happy with how this turned out, and I'm thinking I'm gonna turn it, I cannot hold anything today. I'm thinking I'm gonna turn it into a bag charm. So do like a flat finish with cording and then add it to my stitching bag so that I can take it with me to StitchCon. I love it so much. It came out so good, and this is just from a different Blackbird chart. I think there were 2 alphabets in that book if I'm not mistaken, and this is just from one of those alphabets that they provided. So that is all the Blackbird stitching that I got up to in February. I certainly was not expecting to have 4 Blackbird finishes, but that is just how it turned out, and I'm very happy with it. There was one other piece that I worked on throughout the month, and that is my 2025 Modern Folk Embroidery Stitch Along. I am stitching this on 40 count flax 1/2 with Gentle Arts Witching Hour, and at the end of January I was a little behind with like the monthly goals, but as of the end of February I am caught up, and this is my progress so far. So I've got the full width done, and my current focus is finishing up the chandelier in the center, and then I think I'm going to go back over to the left side. I'm not caught up for March in the slightest, but that's okay. It's okay. I'm really happy with how this is turning out. I'm really liking how the modeling is looking, or the variegation from the floss is looking. I was a little nervous at first when I started. I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna love this. I don't know if I'm gonna wanna stitch a whole project in this color, but thankfully it all worked out and it looks amazing, and I'm really happy with it. And this is the whole piece of fabric. This is a full fat quarter, I think, of 40 count. So she's big. She's gonna be big, but I'm really happy with how this is turning out. I actually ended up taking this to work to be like my lunch piece, so I can usually get at least my daily goal done, which is 80 stitches a day, if not 100. And some days even more, depending on what like meetings and trainings are going on that day, because since it's only one color, it's pretty easy to like do while participating in a meeting. So that is my stitch along. So that is everything I stitched in February, but I did have a couple other things to talk about stitching related. And first up is my Galentine's small exchange that I did with my girlfriends. So we've been talking about this for months. We had some secret stitching going on, and then we were exchanging our smalls pieces, and we finally got to open and like receive our gifts from our Secret Santa, essentially. So my person that I stitched for was Maddie from Kitty Stitch, and I did a Blackbird for her. There's no surprise, I love Blackbird, she loves Blackbird, and the first thing I learned about Maddie when I met her last summer was that she wants to have a wall of pink houses and like samplers and just charts with pink houses in them. And so when I pulled her as my Secret Santa, I instantly was like, yep, I know what I'm gonna do for her. So I stitched Pink Hill Manor by Blackbird Designs. And if you want to see how my finished piece turned out, go check out her Flosstube. I think she's shown that already as well. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I just used all the called for colors, and I hope she loves it. I know she loves it, but it turned out really great. And then the piece that I received, the person that stitched for me, was Bridget, the museum stitcher, and she was pulling from the things that she first learned about me as well, which is that I love the color green and I love autumn. I was actually stitching on an autumn themed piece when we met, and so she was like, that is my inspiration for your project. and this is what she ended up gifting me. It is incredible. She did such an amazing job. And the chart is Fall into Autumn by Jeanette Douglas Designs. She stitched it on 36 count Ale by Picture This Plus with all of the called for fancy floss. And she finished it on like mat board and then mounted it onto another piece of mat board in a frame with no glass. So it's amazing. I love it. I love the dark wood frame. I love the green. I love the orange. I love every single thing about it. Her stitching is incredible. Of course the sun's gonna go behind the clouds when I'm trying to show it close up. So hopefully you can see it. She has amazing like fancy stitches on here, and she is just so talented. I'm so happy to have this in my home. I have it up already. I'm like, it's March, I'm still gonna hang this up. So I love it. Thank you, Bridget. You did an amazing job, and I think she captured me perfectly. The last little thing I have to talk about is that I took a trip to Phoenix, Arizona this past month for work. So I got to go to the Attic Needlework Shop, and I know I'm doing a no-buy, but one of my exceptions that I made for myself, which I don't think I ended up sharing because I forgot about it every time I filmed, was that if I'm traveling and I'm going to a new LNS, then I can buy something. I obviously don't need to go crazy. I don't need to spend hundreds of dollars. But I can buy one or two things to kind of commemorate that trip and, you know, support that shop. So I obviously needed to buy something at the Attic, and I chose Sing a Song of Seasons by Blackbird Designs. This one was already on my list, and I was overwhelmed by all of the samplers and amazing charts that they had in there. So I was like, I'm just gonna pick something I know. I am overwhelmed. Everything's so gorgeous. I don't know how I'm gonna decide. So I ended up going with this because it's already on my list. And it's also from the same series as The Light Upon the Lawn. So I was like, oh, they're both travel pieces, or like both bought when I was traveling to different shops. So maybe that'll be like my theme for the whole series as I purchase them kind of as I travel. But I don't know that that's gonna happen, but it's at least happening for these two. But yeah, so this is Sing a Song of Seasons. I love it. I have no plans to start it, but it's in stash and it'll get started eventually. I will be making an exception for the no-buy again in April because I'm going to Fort Lauderdale. So I'm going to visit the Cross-Stitch Cupboard, I think is the LNS. So we will have another purchase. But other than that, the no-buy is going really good. I was able to re-download Facebook, and I haven't been too tempted to purchase anything from D-Stash. I also, I successfully made it through Market without pre-ordering anything. The Blackbirds this year, incredible. I want them so bad. I almost did it. I almost caved and ordered the Blackbirds, but they're just general releases. So I was like, Rachel, you don't need to buy them right now. Just wait till they're like readily available, and the no-buy is over and it'll be fine. So I made it through Market unscathed. I've made it through D-Stash unscathed. It's just visiting the LNSs that has gotten me. So with that, that is all of my stitching news for February. I think I ended up doing like 11 or 12,000 stitches, which is insane because it's the shortest month of the year. But I was just having the best time. I don't think March is gonna be as stitching heavy as February. I just started my second class for this semester, so I'll have 2 classes plus my internship and work. And I think that's gonna be keeping me pretty busy. So we'll see what I get up to in March, but I'm thinking I'm gonna do a monochromatic theme. That is my current plan. We'll see how long that lasts. But I obviously need to work on my Modern Folk Embroidery style. While I'm filming this, it's already March 8th and I've worked on it like 1 or 2 days this month. So I have a lot of progress to make on that. I also have Merry Christmas from Hobby House that I can work on. And I think I have one Delft Blooms that I could work on that is technically monochromatic because it's all blue. So we'll see what I get up to in March. That video will be out in the beginning of April. In the meantime, I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and I will see you all in my next Flosstube.